We are feeling fortunate to hear from her about online recommendation system. Madam, please.
Um, a very good morning to everyone present here. Dr. Sister Alice Thomas, thank you so much for having me here. And HOD Professor Bhavna ma'am for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. I feel really blessed to be a part of this August gathering. So, and thank you so much, Samreen and Akshita, for introducing me. For any further delay, I would like to start the webinar. I would be sharing my screen. Um, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am,
So,
just a minute. Along with this, I request our viewers that they can put forward their question in the chat box. Ma'am, please.
okay, sure. So this is the topic which I would be focusing on, which is the wonderful world of online recommendation system. As Samreen already said that we are addicted to the online shopping game and social media, and with the Gen Z, they would know that what Netflix and Amazon Prime and everything means to them. So let's get started with the webinar. So we are surrounded with a lot of recommendations in day-to-day life, such as
YouTube. Yeah.
in our daily updates, where we get a lot of things online from different kinds of social media platform. Then we get to know that there are some recommendations, and when we think about recommendation, we would like to focus on the buzzword, the recommendations.
मैं तेरे को दे रही हूँ, रुक जा। हटा दे इसको, हटा
So,
दे।
so here we have, suppose I have my friend. He recommends me some movie or some series such as Stranger Things, and he recommends me to watch this web series. I have my friend. She also recommends me a movie which is Spider-Man, and I have my mother. She recommends me some newly launched web series or documentary which is Planet Earth. So are these things or are these movies recommended to me are, I would appreciate it, I like it, or they would know that, I would like this particular genres, in my everyday life. What if I want to know that what's different options available in the market? So here comes in our recommender system, or
इसको तेज पे
maybe I
कर।
can term as recommender
अरे
engine.
वर्षा मासी को फोन लगा दे यार।
And
बोल लगाएगा तो ये हो जाएगी।
this
हैं?
is
अरे
our
वो देख लेगी
recommender
कम से कम।
system.
फिर चालू कर लेना। बोल दे तो कहना अब भी
Can
हर
we
देखो।
mute the people, I guess? Yeah, thank you. So this is the recommender system or the engine where this plays a vital role here. It allows several entities such as products, ads, different business users or social media people, movies, or music. These all are present on different kinds of platforms, as we know Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify, or any other apps these days. So, what actually attracts users to be bound to these kind of social media platforms or users to be here? um, so there is a list of recommendation engines. As we know, these are Facebook, YouTube again, which kind of like other movies which you enjoy on Netflix or maybe Google search or LinkedIn. You would be interested in some jobs, Amazon, as we all use it, and different kinds of stuff are present online. So coming towards the Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime Video, how it navigates us. Suppose I watched a movie, Wall-E, and due to my previous history, viewing history, it recommends me another movie known as Interstellar. So this is the very initial algorithm where it focuses on my previous history, what I watched, and maybe what would I like to watch further. Coming towards different platform, some purchasing platforms such as Amazon or any other app. If I buy a certain product, it may recommend me to buy another product based upon the previous purchase history. So the order of the products is also important here, I guess, because in which order you buy the product, which may define the preferences you would like in future orders or future kind of like purchases. So the business users, so these are the business users which I'm targeting. So these business users kind of like be there and define a particular model through which the customer should behave. Like suppose if I buy certain product and I have bought this product with a product known as sugar, and I bought another product which is a pair of shoes. So it has a model created where suppose if I bought three of them, but we are users, we can actually behave very differently, and we would not like to buy something which that business model actually recommended, and we would just buy one product. So there is always a plan B from the the business models. They would actually recommend us another useful items that can match our our preferences, or that can match our interests. um, so here the conclusion to this particular model is where the customers can behave very differently, and this is what I'm trying to explain here. So coming towards advantages, so this model is designed in such a way that it has some advantages. It helps the users to discover new and interesting things which they might not end up typing in the product box. They can discover through recommendations from the particular social media account, or maybe a shopping app which is present there. It helps to save time. This is a very big advantage of these kind of recommendation systems, that it kind of like helping a customer or a user to save a lot of time. A lot of customer satisfaction is involved here, because the apps which we are using, they are really trustworthy, and we can buy some product, and if suppose if we don't like it, we can return it and we can get our full refund. So we have another option of returning the things. So customer satisfaction plays a very vital role here. Then we have our profiles designed here, and the app can actually personalize our individual interests. So that is very engaging according to the users, because they would the recommendation system would already know that what I as a user want. So it will actually personalize my interest. Again, discovery of very different things which I may not end up buying, by typing in on the product box. And here, reviews are really, really important, as we as a customer, we rely on reviews or reports. How is the product? Is it really worth investing? These are the things, reviews kind of like justify the product is really, really good, and we should go for it. So I would like to tell everybody that how a recommendation system works. For example, a person likes cheeseburgers, but that person does not like tomatoes in it. How the app or how the things are designed. So, for example, your mom knows that you don't like tomatoes in your burgers, and might be possible that she has seen you pick it up out of the burgers, or she would have asked you that you don't like tomatoes. So the recommendation system also works in a very similar manner. It can ask you what are your preferences, or it can observe other users, how other users are behaving in the similar manner. It can offer you some of the preferences, or it can study your activity. So these are the three things, or three main points where a recommendation system kind of like studies you and asks you, and kind of like modifies its recommendations coming towards any product or any kind of like movie suggestions. So when we kind of like log into our account, Netflix account, and here we have some of the recommendations already, for example, and we are creating our profiles here. And suppose if we have different kinds of genres, such as adventurous or action movies or comedy movies, so it will allow us at the initial stage that what could be my choices. I can select from the given options. So in initial time, it will, recommend me everything and anything on the platform, because it does not have enough data or enough ratings or enough likes and dislikes of a user. So this is termed as cold start problem, where the system or the machine learning algorithm or my Netflix account or profile, anything, it does not have any vital, important reviews which I have created, or anything which I have provided as a preference in starting or in initial days when I'm setting my account. It leads to a cold start problem. Here we have, suppose Amazon, and we buy a product, bananas, and it recommends me a banana slicer based on the ratings or the reviews. And we have the user reviews, number of reviews, and relevancy. So relevancy plays a vital role here, where it is recommending me something which is similar, or which can be used with the previous product. So this is another kind of algorithm which is used here in product buying applications. In the YouTube, if I have, I want to study something related to Java, and I kind of like hop on to a particular YouTube video. So it might be possible that it can suggest me something which is like what are classes, or something which is engaging towards Java. So because of the high watch time, the engagement, students have been engaging on a particular video, the relevancy of topic and the history that I would be interested in studying Java in future. This is how some videos are also, recommended on YouTube. Um, Again, like if I watch a movie, Avengers Endgame, the recommendation engine can also recommend the unmanned trailer, or some funny bloopers, or some behind the scenes. It would, throw everything which I would be interested in. It would kind of like try and test what are my preferences. So it's building my profile. I would say like my clone profile at the back end, and I'm not aware of it currently. It's just testing what I would like or what I may not like. So, talking about recommendation systems, now I have some types here. First is content-based filtering, and second one is collaborative-based filtering. So the content-based filtering here, suppose we have different genres related to movies, and we have a user one here. User one is really interested in watching Avengers, and he watches a movie, for his first movie on Netflix, and it is Avengers. And he watches a second movie, which is from adventurous genre. And again, he watches a third movie, which is an action movie. Now there is a user two. The user two, again, he watches the similar movie which user one has watched, and again, the second movie which is probably from the same genre, adventurous, and then he sits and goes and thinks about what could he watch as a movie three. Here, the recommendation system type 1 content-based filtering comes into picture. So what happens is it's studying two users, and based on their previous actions or explicit feedbacks, it is kind of finding some of the similarities based on what type of the movies both of the users are kind of like watching, and it can recommend. It's highly possible, I would say highly likely it's possible, that as an M3, as a movie 3, user 2 would be suggested an action movie. So this is how a content-based filtering is, coming into picture here. Second one is collaborative-based filtering. So here also we have user one, and here ratings are given on a particular movies. So we have four movies here. Different kinds of ratings have been provided to each of the movies here. Then again we have user two. We have different kinds of rating again from the user two, and the fourth movie is awaited to watched by user two. So here, what is happening is it will study both of the users' behavior, and due to this, what will happen is when they would have agreed on certain ratings. For example, some of the ratings are having exact match, so it will try to throw some same kind of rating movies based upon studying their behavior. So this actually helps the platform, which is Netflix or Amazon Prime Video, to kind of like simplify their model, and it would be less, it would be like less work for the machine learning model. It will just throw something which is related to, M4, which was watched by user one. Similar kind of rating movie would be suggested to you, user two. Here are some challenges. There are always like pros and cons of every aspect. So here are some challenges here. So we have major trust issues here. We have everything related to our profiles just over internet, and anybody can use our, information. And that's a major disadvantage of being online. I know it's important to be on internet, but the trust issues are raging every day. Secondly, the data is changing constantly. The data is changing, in a manner that a speed where we cannot imagine how it would look in further scenarios. So we have to be, on the toes when we are working with the data. Again, the user preferences are changing. For example, I like the product today, and after a month, maybe I won't like the product, and the recommendation still remains the same. So we need to up our game here right now. And fake rating. This is a major, challenge here for the products, basically, because I know there are some illegal websites which is paying people some money to kind of like fake the rating. They want to up the rating. They want to misguide the users, and this is not. I believe this is not authenticative way of working. So we always try to buy something, and then we see a product and we get tempted, and we try to add it in our cart, and we end up overspending the money. So we try to buy things which are actually not worth the money, or we don't want to buy right now, but we end up buying it because it's recommended. And we are glued to the screen. If a person gets shopaholic, or a person wants to watch movies, or gets entertained, or wants to listen to music, we are unnecessarily wasting our time, and we are getting glued to screen. There are some unpredictable items, as I mentioned earlier as well. So, there are some future scopes which we can, try and understand what we can do in future to kind of like, go further and solve these challenges. So firstly, personalized learning to rank. We can actually personalize everything coming to user in a ranking system where we get to have the data of his all previous purchases or previous watch history, and we can rank it. So we can actually it decrease the engagement time, and we can rank the products or entities, and this can actually help us to minimize the processing time of the particular machine learning model or algorithm. We can help the clients to find exceptional items which they might not find it just like that, and deliberately they would end up uh, purchasing something. We can actually suggest them as like a wish list or a to-do list, which is like there on their application, so they don't have to struggle a lot in particular application. So again, this is a byproduct of what I said earlier. It will narrow down our set of choices. The system would know me extremely personally, and I would not go and waste my time on the application, but it would actually narrow down the set of choices for especially for the user. And then again, there is a unique personalized service which can be adapted to different kinds of applications, where it can just focus on me, and it will obviously reduce the machine learning algorithm time also and the processing time. There is like a customization per user and client. So this also helps the businesses to take over it and generate some revenue, because the companies would obtain more knowledge about users, and it will help the companies to optimize the real time needs, and it will reduce the processing time, because in my opinion, time is really really important, and I suppose it's important for the businesses and the users. It will help to generate revenue, for the companies. It will engage users more on everyday basis, and it will kind of like increase market for smaller businesses as well. Behavioral steering is as a part of machine learning algorithms, where we kind of like predict what would be happening in future, and we can be prepared with a plan B or a plan C, and we don't want to waste any other further time for live evaluations, and there are like A and B testing platforms where we kind of like test every day different kinds of algorithm related to every social media platform which is out there. So coming towards my opinion, is like when the opportunities are retrieving personalized information are being spread on internet, it helps to elevate the problem of information systems, where there is like a very common phenomenon which is information retrieval system, and which enables users to access the products and services which are not readily available to the users online. And this is based upon previous reviews or movie recommendation, or any other product buying services which is available. And the strategy helps us to improve the business user strategies, also the machine learning algorithms as well, the profile of the users, and it actually helps everybody, which the people are there on internet, and this helps to collect the authenticate data, because study of data is really really important here. After like 10 years or 20 years, anybody can study the data, because it's really really important to have a track of data, I feel, and the systems will become more and more responsive here. So that's it from my side. I would like to extend if anybody has a question for me.
Shikha ma'am, can we have this session at the end of
Oh, okay. Okay.
please?
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening me.
yeah. Thank you. Samreen,
Yes.
yeah, please continue.
As new technologies evolve, so do the attacks meant to evade them. In this COVID-19 situation, pandemic, cyber criminals around the world are capitalized. From our cyber intelligence centers, we observe a spike in phishing attacks, mal spams, and ransomware attacks, misleading customers and employees. So I would like to invite Mr. Rohit Singh Katiyar to introduce our second speaker, Mr. Sanket Dapara.
Good morning to one and all present here. It's an honor for me to introduce our resource person, Mr. Sanket Mendapara. Sir is currently working as a threat researcher at Sophos Technology Private Limited, India Labs, which is situated at Ahmedabad, Gujarat. He has been working from past 3 years. He is also alum of LNM Institute of Technology, Jaipur, where he did his BTech in communication and computer engineering. Soon after that, due to his interest in network and endpoint security, he joined Sophos, initially as an intern and then full-time. He also heads Sophos' internal training program where he trains and mentors other new joinees into advanced spam analysis and latest anti-spam detection technique. He has also been a state level wrestler with 3 times district level champion in freestyle wrestling. So it's a great honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you, Rohit, and thank you, Saira, for such beautiful intro. Thank you, Shikha ma'am, for having beautifully explaining the recommendation systems, and thank you everyone,
Thank you so
Bhavana
much.
ma'am, Sister Alice. Thank you everyone for having me for this talk. I'm just going to share my screen, and we are good to go then. I think now you all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So about security, like most of them, I think you would be in your bachelor's, and some of them might be in your master's degree. Security is a pretty much widely conventionally what we said trivial field, which people still do not have much of the idea, which I find, like what type of different profiles do we have in cybersecurity, and how can people proceed in this field. I have noticed like many of individuals who are beginners and starting into this field generally say that it's mostly about hacking and that kind of stuff, but it's pretty much more beyond that part, and that's why for the students like you all, I would moreover focus this talk towards the profile building and how, as a student after your graduation, you can build your profile in a way that we generally notice that there is a lack of skill set when you see students or new beginners, freshers joining in an industry, and they lack a proper skill set to fit into the security industry. And that's why you would find a huge number of sites and people in industry saying that there is a lot of lack of individuals, and there are moreover jobs opportunities, but there are enough individuals who can fulfill that particular need for a particular organization, right? So that's it. This is just an overview about the talk, that we would initially see the spectrum of different types of security profiles. How are they divided, and which one you can pursue related to security. And then I pretty much focus this talk on a single way, like there are certifications, industry level certifications. In security field, generally people expect that you have some kind of experience because of its need. I think pretty much, and the vast skill set which they require for any of their jobs. So I would just focus at what all part you can focus from your bachelor's. So at the time when you are graduating, you have that particular skill set, and you can easily enter into this field of cybersecurity. And then some of the resources and competitions which you can participate, and you can have as a self-study way. And companies, what all companies do we have currently in India? What all major MNCs do we have related to cybersecurity and work, what they do? And then after we would have a Q&A. So not focusing more on the need of cybersecurity, because everyone knows that it's one of an integral part, because even after this pandemic started, and as we all are working from home currently, and it is one of the need of an hour that security is up to date for each of the organizations. Hello. Okay. So just emphasizing on one of the recent security attacks, which was mm, on the organization known as SolarWind. So SolarWind is one of the supply chain management organization, which is a federal contractor of a US state and national government or organizations, and many different major cybersecurity companies. So there was a very huge security attack from their softwares got compromised, which eventually put many of the cybersecurity industrial companies into a jeopardy, as they all got compromised, like big names like Microsoft, FireEye, if you may know, US government organizations, and even different uh, other countries, state government organizations got affected due to that. So it's pretty much inflow, like security need is inflow currently. So it's a need of an hour, and we all need some or the other way of having this profile build, and individuals in the market to counter this attacks which are happening quite day by day. So this is presented as a security spectrum, like what all different type of security uh, pathways are there. Generally, people do not know of majority of different pathways. So mainly are due to their working, due to their part involved as a business. They are primarily divided into four parts. First is known as red team. Second is known as blue team. Third is known as a security management team. And fourth are miscellaneous and development team, which relates or are intertwined from with cybersecurity profiles. So red team, what is red teaming? So these are the individuals or profile who focus is primarily on vulnerability assessment, penetration testing. These are the individuals who are hired by an organization to check how much secure their services are, their websites are, their applications are. These are the individuals, or these are the group of members who are hired and on this. They work on the offensive side of the security, which we say they try to attack the systems, they try to find the vulnerabilities around the website, applications, networks. And these are the primary domains which they focus on: web application, web and application services exploitation, mobile wireless network exploitation. Also, there is a platform exploitation. By platform, I mean Android platform, Windows platform, Linux platform, Mac platform. and operating systems related to them, different kind. So this is the functioning of the red team members. Then there is a career which is focused on blue teaming and the individuals who work under the blue teaming. I myself come under the domain of blue teaming because we are work on the defensive side of the security. We work on the infrastructure and operational security. Like we work to secure our endpoint and network products. So how we work like the red team members give the blue team members about different types of vulnerabilities which we have in our systems or which customer reported to us if any by any means or the attack which happened to them, and we trying to counter that thing and update our systems, update the security products which we provide so that in future such outbreak attack or this kind of attack do not happen in upcoming days. And then there is a damage control team. So for an organization, if they are being targeted and they have been compromised by any kind of security attacks, so there are a specific damage control members who look after the aftermath of the what all data or what all asset have been compromised and how we can then uh, intervene and how we can clean our systems from this infected ones. Incident response is also a similar kind of domain. Incident response team members are the members who are the first liners to whom the organization contacts when they get attacked by any of the organizations or malicious entities. Digital forensics and threat hunting. Threat hunting and threat intelligence is a domain which is, I think, overlapping from red team and blue team profile. Uh, in the sense that they try to collect the data and they try to find the information which is exposed of an organization throughout the web or through any means, like for an organization, if they want to check that how much information of that particular organization, confidential information of that particular organization is exposed on the web or on the different networks and anywhere surrounding the globe. So this is the team who looks after that particular part, who checks different aspects, and they file the report that for an organization like yours also, this much employee details are on the web, this much student information details are on the web, because this all thing are considered when a targeted cybersecurity attack is held or is being planned by any entity. They try to get as much information of that particular organization members and how they can uh, use that thing for their use. So that is threat intelligence part. Also, threat intelligence and hunting part is used by red team members. Like I said, that defensive way also we can use that particular part, and offensive way also the spammers or any kind of malicious entity can use that particular thing in their mind. Then comes a management kind of role which we have in cybersecurity. Members of this particular uh, team generally look after how security policies are, uh, how do we design security policies, how do we have implementation of our net security in our network as an organization, how we have the risk analysis here I mean like how much uh, data we can afford that should be on the web, how much information can any of the clients on our basis. So So this whole thing comes under the security management area. And there are then miscellaneous and development related job related or partially related to cybersecurity, like developing security tools. Then we have managing security tools on currently cloud platforms, and also the DevSecOps is a term used for development security operations team, which checks for each of the product related deployment of this security product related deployment and development part. So these are the primary four areas any of the individuals from your, if you are interested, can focus on towards one of the area if, and go further in the security spectrum. So moving further for the red teaming part, so what kind of job profiles do you get if you are um, red teaming related, interested in red teaming area? So there are jobs related to penetration testing, offensive security analyst, exploit developer. Exploit developer is a uh, developer who generally writes an exploit in order to check the security a response of any of the product of their particular organizations. Social engineering experts, security researcher and analyst, and threat intelligence analyst. So while performing any security attacks, there are many information which is required beforehand for to target or to perform a high full-fledged cybersecurity attack. So for that particular part, the information gathering part is done by threat intelligence analyst. This is the particularly job profiles which you would get in cybersecurity for red teaming, and these are the industry standard certifications. So I have focused here on certifications because, see, as a fresher, you won't get that much kind of experience directly if you want to enter into the this domain. So what other thing you can do is, like, you can have this top industry standard certifications on your hand and show while applying for any of the security profile that yes, I'm capable of this particular thing, and this would eventually boost your profile as a sense. Here we have these are the top organizations and industry organizations, recognized organizations who generally provide these certifications. You generally train for them. There are many resources available online, free resources available which you can have and check for it and go for it. There is a this the highlighted in yellow ones are very much popular certifications and which generally are in demand when you apply for any job related to cybersecurity. So here is it, certified ethical hacker certification. This whole list is of an offensive certifications which you can have. This another one is from offensive security organization, that is offensive security certified professional, which you can have OSCP certification. And this the other ones are a bit more advanced certifications, I would say. So for beginners, if you want to start and if you like this area, then you can go for learning about this certifications. There is this SANS GIAC, which is an very well-known organizations, and their certifications are pretty much valuable in US, though they are a bit expensive. The overhand, if we see the Indian standards, then, and this is the e-learn security certifications, which are pretty much on the cheaper side if you want to pursue and professional certifications in the field of offensive security. Then we have the profiles of blue team and what do they do. So there are profiles like a security analyst in SOC. SOC is basically Security Operations Center. So the major industrial cybersecurity companies would have their own security operations center where they monitor 24/7 the different security events and check their network, check their clients network, and check for any of the anomaly 24/7. So these are the team who are responsible for initially finding if there is any kind of anomaly on a network, on a website, on their services, anywhere. Then comes the second profile is of malware analyst, the work which I do. I am a spam and malware analyst. So what we do is like we are exposed to and submitted different types of uh, email emails which you get and files which you get or the customer gets and from various resources. So we check for the out of the blue viruses, worms, malware in general, and on that we write a detections which further down the line will help us uh, to enhance our security policies and our security products. So this is the work which I do. Threat research is also intertwined as malware analysis work, spam analysis work, and vulnerability analysis work. So we find vulnerabilities on different types of networks on a defensive side and try to patch them up for our products so that our customers using antivirus softwares of any of the organizations like ours would then be protected from further such attacks. Then we have network security researchers who primarily focuses on network security and firewall traffic security and any kind of intrusions from any entity on a network. There are attacks which are targeted to bring some of the networks of some of the organizations down, and they check for that particular anomaly and report. They try to write codes to detect that particular thing and research about the newest or advanced form of such attacks. Then application security researchers are there. Application here, I mean, an Android application researcher is there, where currently if malware is propagated via Android APKs, and you can see that there are many malicious uh, pretty much malicious applications on Play Store also. So they would have their own security researcher to check that particular uh, aspects. Uh, then we have platform security researchers, which is like checking the security of operating system related security, different kind of platforms, Windows platform, Linux platform, different versions of them, OS X platform. So these are the researchers who find the vulnerabilities, how we can exploit the Windows uh, platform. And if such vulnerabilities are reported to this team, then they would find a way to fix that particular part. And last one is a pretty much new addition to this blue teaming is an EDR, MDR, MTR analyst way. So these are the people. EDR stands for Endpoint Detection Response, MDR Managed Detection Response, and MTR stands for Managed Threat Response Analyst. So these are the people. If you see, there has been SOC analyst who checks for any of the intrusion or an incident happening at the organization level. So this EDR, MDR analyst are the members who would then check how much impact is done in the organization, check from where the attack happened, what all systems got compromised, and they would then report each of the elements to us, to threat risk research team or a malware analyst team. Then we would take those particular attack vectors, what we call as an attack vectors include any malwares infected your system. So that particular malicious file is present in your system. So this EDR analyst will then get us that particular malicious file for our analysis, and then we would fix that particular part and write a detection to overcome any future such attacks. So this is pretty much the job profiles which we have in the blue team areas, and which you all can check out in more details. So moving further. So what are certifications you can have, or you can target while checking for the blue teaming or learning about this field? This is EC Council is an organization, very famous organization. You can have a SOC analyst certification by them, threat intelligence analyst certification by them, incident handler certification. Incident handler is a very popular certification currently, because there is a high need of such individuals who can directly respond. A cybersecurity industry is currently in need of such individuals who can respond to their clients' incident. If they report, if a client reports them, like they are being targeted by some malicious entity, or they have been attacked. Now what to do? So these are incident handlers, are the people who would then take this case further, identify each of the elements of the attack, and then get the data response. So this is the thing which you all can check out in the field of IT. Then there is SANS certifications, forensic analyst certification. Similarly, like EC councils, this is from different organizations. Threat intelligence certification, incident handler, and reverse engineering. Malware reverse engineering is one of the pretty much advanced certification. And if you have, if you have this certification, you are a pretty much very advanced professional uh, in cybersecurity field. Then there are certifications by this Elon Security related to this. So this all are the blue teaming areas which you can focus, which you can learn from your end.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Would like to hear you from more, but this is class time
Okay,
actually.
okay.
So
Okay, sure,
could
sure.
you please conclude?
Okay, okay, sure, sure, sure.
Thank you.
Sure, sure. So though these are the last two areas which I will share the slides of. So about the security related management, but these are pretty much higher end certifications and areas which you all can focus on. So pretty much I suggest you to start with initial two, have your interest developed in that particular part, and resources. Mainly, these are the resources which you all can try out. For offensive side, I have listed some of the resources which are pretty much great in the platform. Then there is different malware hosting sites where you can practice about how you can analyze this thing, how you can get into this field. And then there are threat intelligence site, virus total, reverse engineering labs, and this all, which you can focus on, learn about new attacks. They are daily updated with zero-day attacks and all. And this is the professional scenario as far as India is concerned. Like, I have just included the top MNCs who work currently directly into cybersecurity field. So these are the industries from which you can focus. So this is all from my end. And this was a profile intro. This was not a pretty much technical talk, I would say. This is just a profile intro, which what all things you can explore in the field of cybersecurity. And that's it from my side. Any questions you might have?
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sanket sir. Thank you. Very informative session. So, Samreen, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please call Paritosh, Sanket sir, and Shikha ma'am. Just a moment. Say something. Just a moment.
ma'am.
Yeah, Rishi is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so one question only you can ask right now. Sanket sir and Shikha madam, please send your email addresses so that they can, if they have queries, they can ask.
Yeah, sure. I can actually type in the chat box. That
Yeah,
would be
please,
helpful for
please.
everybody.
Yeah, please type your mail addresses in the check
Yeah.
box so that they can query you over there also. Yeah,
I would be happy to help. Yeah.
thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes, Samreen.
Yes, ma'am.
Rishi may proceed for one question, and one more question can be there from our Isha, and then we will conclude.
Yes, ma'am. So my question is from Shikha ma'am. So how reinforcement learning involved in a recommendation system? Can you please tell me, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. So I suppose reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning algorithm where it actually helps the agents to learn an interactive environment where it can produce its profiles, and this is like a give and take process where you can actually feed in your preferences and profiles, and this is like a part of machine learning algorithm, as there are n number of algorithms available for different kinds of platforms, such as like for Spotify we use like BART, it is bandits for recommendation and treatments, and for Amazon currently we are using item to item collaborative filtering, which I already explained. So there are different kinds of machine learning algorithm where it depends upon mainly on user feedback.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
1 minute, please, Samreen. I just want to just request all the students to open your video so we can take one photograph with Shikha ma'am and Sanket sir. It will be a great memory for us, isn't it? And if anybody is having one question for Sanket sir, so please be ready. Paritosh, Rishi, Rohit, everybody, please open your video so we can take one photograph, please. Hurry up. Priya, everybody, please. Yeah. Thank you. Now, is there anybody who has any question for Sanket sir? Okay. So we can, is there anybody who has any question for Sanket sir?
Sure, if they can also contact me via email or LinkedIn. Anyway, I would be happy to
Sure.
further down.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So can we have Paritosh Tirupade for vote of thanks?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Paritosh, your mic. Yes, yes, now.
Okay, ma'am. A very good morning to one and all present over here. I, Paritosh Tirupudi of BCA First Sem, would like to thank respected Miss Shikha Pathak Dubey and Mr. Sanket Mendapara for sharing such an enlightening thoughts with us. As machine learning and AI recommendation system plays an important part in this era, ma'am has really helped us to understand how does the recommendation system works. So thank you very much for that, ma'am. In this rapidly growing technological age, the number of cyber crimes happening every year are increasing exponentially. Listening to Sir's address, It has given us a rough idea about how cyber crimes and securities would shape with the future. So, thank you very much for that too, sir. With that, I would like to thank our respected head of the department, Computer Science, Professor Bhavna Sangamnarkar, who had organized such an informative and enlightening session for us. My heartfelt thanks to our respected principal, Dr. Sister Alice Thomas, and our honorable director, Reverend Father Simon Raj, for supporting this event and making it a grand success. I would once again like to thank all the participants who have attended this session and created such an amazing learning environment. Thank you.
Participants, you will get a link for feedback form in your webinar group, and soon when you will fill that form, you will get e-certificate from St. Paul Institute of Professional Studies. With this, I am sincerely thankful to our management, our Reverend Director, Father Simon Raj, respected principal, Sister Alice Thomas, for their constant support and guidance for making this seminar successful. I'm very much thankful to Shikha ma'am and Sanket sir to join with us and give fruitful information to all of us. With this, I am thankful to our staff, our colleagues, and my dear students. Without them, this program could not be successful one. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. So with this, I think we can end up this meeting. Thanks again,